Our next speaker is MiTAC. Hancock has been with MiTAC leading their technical and system infrastructure. He's primarily focused on OCP. That's his job. And we're so happy to have volunteer leaders like Hancock talk about their experience with OCP. He's a veteran of IBM. He brings a tremendous amount of experience from Vertif. And now he's going to talk about OCP across different verticals. Telco, data center, cloud. Please join me in welcoming Hancock Chang.
Thank you, Archana. Thank you, everyone. My name is Hancock from MiTAC, and as you already heard several successful stories about OCP for the data center. So we are going to talk about not only the data center successful story, but also how we can move the OCP solution to the legacy facility and also the telco, just like Rajiv already introduced you, the openEDGE, and what else we can do. So this is the session we are going to talk. Okay, this is the typical networking model everybody usually talk about. From edge to cloud, that you can see we have the good story on the data center. So how about the regional and aggregate edge with the legacy facility? Actually, they got a lot of 19-inch racks still there. How we can have the OCP solution be adopted into the 19-inch racks? Okay, so from last year, we can say that with the contribution MiTAC provided, we can have the OCP ESA be adopted into the traditional 19-inch rack that helps OCP solution could be used within the 19-inch environment. And also the same story for the aggregate edge. And with the Nokia's contribution, we can also say that because you can see that in the telco, especially the central office, that the compact dimension and the NAPS requirement will be the hard requirement. So the openEDGE actually comply with the NAPS, and also the compact design will be the appropriate selection for the aggregate edge. And let's see the far edge, especially connect to the equipment and a smart city application. So that means the application should focus on not only the indoor and the outdoor. So openEDGE actually also could help the indoor and outdoor user case. So later we will talk about it and what we should do for the future. Let's do a kind of a recap to think about how we can judge the green data center. The 4 key index, you can see the power efficiency is the most important thing. It's always capture people's eyes. However, with the OCP solution, we can have the openness and standardized solution. It helps to have the quick deployment because of the toolless design. That means we can have the less waste for the resource, and that also provides the power efficiency because the architecture of the OCP solution, especially the central power supply, and that cost that leaders could see the less expenditure from the CAPEX and the OPEX. So we can see some real number here. You can see the POE, which is the index to judge the green data center. You can see the Facebook POE, it shows the number here. Well, comparing to the average data center with the traditional 19-inch racks, the number cannot make you have a strong feeling. So we can transfer it to the dollar sign. So with the OCP solution and the PUE, we can see from the Facebook data center, leaders could see the reduction with around 35%. And also the OCP solution with the new form factor, it also could have around 50% enhancement to save the floor space utilization. And like I just said, the tool-less design could speed up the data center deployment. Someone said that in the average number will be the 4 times to speed up the data center deployment. So with those advantages of the OCP solution, how we can move it to the legacy environment. These are the 4 key concerns for those legacy data center operator will have. So that is the gap. They could not adopt OCP solution before last year, especially the infrastructure limitation. So you can see the average flow loading, and also because of the open rack, it actually is too high for the traditional elevator. You cannot move it into the building. And also the power and the space design is not suitable to deploy the open rack solution. So that is the major concern as a gap to deploy the OCP. And also, because those legacy environment already have some continuous daily routine service running, so you cannot let them have a downtime to just want to deploy the OCP. That those impact actually to let them got no immediate action to deploy the OCP solution. So how we can do? So here to show you the ESA solution. We contributed last year with the 3 key components here, the rail modules, bus bar, and the 2 OU shelf. Actually combine this together to install into the traditional 19-inch rack. You can let it work with the traditional server together in the same rack and put the OCP server in. So now you can have the OCP solution running into the traditional 19-inch rack. Take a look at the ESA. It's simple. 2 rail modules, the 2 OU shelf, and with the power bus bar. It is simple, but it works to help the legacy environment could adopt the OCP solution directly. And we are continues to improve the design at this moment. Now you can see the weight. We were trying to have the better design and losing the weight to help decrease the risk of, especially for the average flow loading in those legacy environment. So furthermore, we got ESA with the OCP server. How about the storage? So taking the same form factor of the computing sled like the Telco bus, we make the same form factor for the storage, the JBOF user case. And with the 19-inch shelf, put it into the ESA, okay, we can have the OCP solution with the computing and the storage together in the 19-inch solution environment. Also, this kind of the form factor could be suitable with the 20-inch shelf be plugged into the Open Rack V2. So this is the flexible design with the same form factor as the computing node to be plugged into the different shelf for the different scenario. Also, we got some partners to provide us the 19-inch power shelf with us together and to make it a real total solution to the market. So recently I got my wife's complaint that I look at it more than look at her. Okay, but it really helps us to solve the problem. Let's talk about the requirement of the edge computing. So the requirement you can see here, the safety, response time, dimension, environmental, and high throughput, which leads us to have the things we need to follow. NES compliance for the telco, low latency, and compact design with the depth, height, weight, especially the depth, because the server room in the central office actually needs less than 470 millimeters rack. And in some of the cases, especially the outdoor user case, you will have to face the ruggedized design, especially the temperature, anti-dust, humidity. Let's image the wintertime in Alaska or the summertime in India. In India, the requirement for the operating temperature will be up to 70 degrees C. Losing every 1 degree C will crash the system. So how we can make that happen with the OCP solution will be the big topic. Also the I/O optimization, plus the cost performance. So this is a small word here. Actually, in our mindset, we always thought that 2 sockets is better than 1 socket because of the redundancy, the power, the computing power. However, we all understand about the numerous architecture that somehow will cause the performance gap, especially your workload will need to go through the second CPU. So in the real case, you can look into the openEDGE aspect. Nokia just contributed. Actually, 1 socket will be the appropriate solution for I/O optimization, especially when you have to do some high throughput application. Oh, sorry. Okay, so Rajiv just introduced about the openEDGE. So you can compare the physical topology and the logical topology. Then you can have a more feeling. This is the openEDGE design. And comparing to the logical topology, you can image the compact dimension to save the space. And then what else we need to think about it? Just like I mentioned, in the telco application, with only the computing sled is good enough, maybe we need to think about some other optional sled in the future. Like in the residential application, you need to have the OLT connect between the computing sled and also the ONU direct to your house. So how about to have the OLT slide into this system? Same idea, fabric of TOR, especially in the indoor application. Think about the cost of the transceiver and the cable. That's very expensive. If we can have the fabric and TOR sled inside of this system, direct connect to the computing sled, how much cost we can save, and how efficiency we can provide. Also with some application in the smart city or the auto drive, you will have a lot of image data you need to store as a hard data. So can we have good enough capacity just with these computing sled, or we need to come out some storage sled into this system? So these are the further things we need to think about more. And with this kind of idea, MiTAC also, as a platinum member of the OCP, we will also do our best to contribute our idea to this project by joining the project team. So this picture provided by Nokia, you can see this picture is very typical to show you the antenna direct contact to the openEDGE with the outdoor cabinet. And also by the street, you can see the intersection case configuration or the block case configuration. So with this kind of introduction, you can see the outdoor application already be considered. However, just like I mentioned earlier, image these one into Alaska, especially the winter time. The average temperature will be around minus 40 degrees C, or in the India, especially the summertime. How we can ensure the solution with the existing outdoor cabinet be used for those critical environments. Or we need to think about how we can enhance the current design. So that means we need to keep our contribution with every member and even the other solution provider to have the solution be ready for the 5G. So let's keep moving on the telco solution integration with OCP. This is another kind of a point of view to think about the core telco network edge and with the application here. So everybody talk about the 5G. Remember, 5G is one of the access methods. In the coming years, you will see LTE, Wi-Fi, and wireline actually will still coexist with the 5G because they all try to provide the broadband for those services. So assume a lot of the cars driving on the highway, how to manage the packet as a car driving on the highway, be well organized and with good enough performance. So the software-defined network and also the coming technology like the network slicing will be the key topic from the open source software community. But as a hardware community from OCP, how we can collaborate with the open source community like the ONF or the Linux Foundation. That will be the next topic we are going to talk about. So this is not the new idea. This is the idea ONF already provided to the world for several years. So like we said, for not only 5G, but also the existing telco application, indoor and outdoor, with the 19-inch or even the outdoor application, how OCP existing hardware or the future solution could work with the ONF to have a right application be real deployed in the world to provide the 5G application will be the key collaboration between ONF and OCP. And today we got the ONF staff here. He will introduce more the detailed technology and the progress of the ONF. So this picture just show you in the worldwide how many telco company already use the ONF solution. And we need to think about how many telco company already started to adopt OCP solution. Per our information, there are several telco in Europe and in US, they already start to take the OCP solution with the ONF core architecture to deploy the next generation telco service. So how we can keep our contribution with these telco company and ONF together to enhance our solution and to make sure the future service could really be adopted by OCP. That is the topic we are focused on. So this is the overall architecture of the core. I'm not going to talk about the detailed software application here. Just like to let everybody know that the collaboration between the OCP and the ONF, we will not be absent. We will join as a ONF members soon later. So we try to provide OCP platform and collaborate with the ONF to have those applications be adopted on the OCP platform we can provide and see what kind of a solution, what kind of service really can be used with OCP successfully. So let's talk about the virtual central office a little. This is managed by the OPNFV, which is a subgroup of the Linux Foundation. This is the VCO 2.0 demo topology. Actually has been presented in last September in OCP Regional Summit Amsterdam. So this picture shows you the central office be set in the US side. And here in last year, the demo set up with OCP platform in Amsterdam, connect through the software-defined network configuration, and have a voice over IP and some of the video streaming demonstration to show the real case for the mobile edge and also the residential enterprise application. So this is the working package with the not only software but also the OCP hardware already. So you can see here to show you the ecosystem partners we're here to work with every open source code partner. And through the OCP hardware and with the SDN controller to do the network configuration and the other open source package to provide such as the virtual RAN and some other application of to replace the proprietary hardware for the telco. So it provides the demo I just showed you in the previous slide. And the VCO 3.0 is coming. That will have a VCO 3.0 demonstration in this September. So we will see the more features and also with the Kubernetes to have the workload balance optimization be implemented for the VCO 3.0. So that will bring us another topic. When those new features come in, be running on the hardware, is there any modification or enhancement we need to keep modifying and contributing to the existing OCP design, especially the hardware or firmware layer? I think maybe. So we need to keep collaborating with the Linux Foundation for the coming demo for the VCO 3.0. And in this March, the OCP Summit in San Jose, we follow the cookbook of the VCO 2.0. With the limited space, we created the branch office with the 4 Telco pods into the 19-inch rack. And with these partners' helps, we got the 19-inch rack and the power shelf, also the switch, and the InWinStack as our OpenStack consultant partner. We set up the branch office demonstration for the voice IP. We got some successful demonstration feedback from our customer. So it tells us that the OCP solution really suitable for the new generation of the telco. So as Ashwina just introduced earlier, if you have anything interested in the OCP solution, you can visit OCP Marketplace, or you can come to our web, or just visit us at our booth. We are more than happy to answer any question you have. So thank you.